Welcome back to Gavel Gossip, where justice is unfiltered. Today, we're diving straight into one of the most sensitive and emotionally charged topics in family law: visitation rights and custody battles. In this episode, we'll take you inside a heated courtroom exchange as two parents face the complexities of custody arrangements. Who gets to see their child? What role do extended families play? And how do judges make the tough calls that shape a child's future? We've skipped past the formalities and courtroom procedures to get straight to the moments that matter most. You'll hear real-life testimonies that reveal emotional struggles, legal jargon, and the heart-wrenching decisions at the center of this case. Before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe to Gavel Gossip and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss our latest courtroom stories and legal breakdowns.
Also, Mr. Devoyado, you do not live with your father, you live with your stepfather, is that right?
My dad.
He's your stepfather?
My dad.
Objection, non-responsive.
The state. Sir, listen to the question. Just try to answer the question.
Is he your biological father?
No, not my biological father.
Okay. So everyone who lives in that house with you are not related to you biologically, is that correct?
Objection, relevant.
And
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't hear you really.
sorry, sustained.
Okay. What type of housing do you live in?
A house.
And how many rooms?
There's 5 rooms.
How many bedrooms?
5.
And what accommodations would you make for your daughter if
What
she were to visit with you there overnight?
By her crib.
Okay. And isn't it true, Mr. Devoyado, that actually there's only 3 bedrooms in that house and 5 adults? Isn't that the truth?
No.
Okay. All right. So when you had visitation with your daughter, it was actually supervised visitation, and it was supervised by Miss Negrette's grandmother. Is that right?
When?
When you had visitation with your daughter at the times that you
That was one.
you have listed. There was
Nope.
one visit. Okay.
That was
You also
one.
had, thank you. You had several visits in a church
Correct.
that were established by Miss Negrete and her biological father.
Correct.
Is that right? Okay. And you chose not to come to those visits.
No, that's not correct.
You went to the church. You went to the meetings where her dad would bring the child to you. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. So if Miss Negrete would say otherwise, she would not be telling the truth. Is that right?
That's correct.
And if her dad said the same thing, he would not be telling the truth.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So, in all the time that you've had with your daughter, have you actually made any child support payments?
I haven't seen her since.
Objection, asked and answered.
I have
Sustained.
not asked the question, Your Honor.
Oh, somebody else has. He's already answered.
Okay. All right.
But his member.
I'm going to pass the witness, Your Honor. Thank you.
Great. All right. Anything else to this witness?
Nothing further by me, Judge. Nothing from the state.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Counsel, call your next witness.
Judge, I don't have any further witnesses.
Okay. All right. Ms. Flores, do you have any witnesses?
I have Miss Negrete.
Okay, great.
State their name for the record, please.
My name is...
Stop. What's the problem?
The echo.
Oh, there's an echo?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she just turned on the microphone, so you turned it off now, right? Yes. Okay, can you speak up so the judge can hear you?
Yes, Judge. My name is Yvette Negrete.
Okay. Ms. Negrete, you're not objecting to Mr. Devoyado being named, adjudicated the father of your child. Is that correct?
Yes, he's the father.
Okay. So you're in agreement that he is, and the court's order you would agree to.
Correct.
Okay. The issue today has to do with visitation. Is that right?
Correct.
And you and I have discussed visitation and the fact that a child needs her father and her mother in the child's life, correct?
That's correct.
And so you think that it would be in the best interest of your daughter to take a slow but steady approach to the visitation. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I confirmed to the stair step.
And so what is your understanding of the stair step visitation?
That my child gets to see her father every 2 visits for 2 to 3 hours.
Okay. And is that every week or every other week or however the judge would order?
I think it's every week.
Okay. And so for how long?
I'm from 2 to 3 hours.
And how many weeks or months?
4. What from 4?
What did she say?
Okay. So
Wait, stop. What was your response, ma'am?
That every week is two visits
Okay. And she said for how many weeks?
for 12 months.
Months. Okay.
okay. So after that first year of weekly visitation, what is your understanding that would be the next step for Mr. Devoyat to have visitation with the child?
The next step is for him to see her as whenever he's seen her at Chuck E. Cheese, like 2 to 3 hours again on another day that we comply.
Okay. And what age do you think she should have overnight with her dad?
Just like the stair step has said, after 3.
After 3 years? Mm-hmm. So is that what you're asking the judge to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Mr. Devoyat said he thinks it is possible for you to provide breast milk for a long period of time. Is that true? Can you do that?
I usually, whenever I breastfeed her, I use it's called a boom, and you use it on your other breast that captures letdown. And at that letdown that I get every 2 hours is 2 ounces.
Okay. So how much does she drink? Because she feeds every 2 hours and she's 1 year old now. Why is she feeding every 2 hours?
Because it's minimum 2 ounces, and then I give her three foods, 3 solids.
Okay. So she drinks at the most 2 ounces, and that's why you feed her every 2 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And she started on some solid foods. Is that right?
Correct.
It's not really solid. It's more like baby mush.
Yes, it's a half. It's like applesauce with veggies, steamed veggies, and chicken.
Okay. Things like that. All right. So regarding her foods, you would, of course, instruct Mr. Devoyat how he would prepare her food or what kind of food she would be able to eat. Is that right?
Of course.
And then you would provide a bottle or maybe 2 of breast milk because she's not on formula at this point. Is that right?
Just breast milk.
Okay. All right. Pass a witness.
Mr.
Judge, I had no questions. May I retain time for closing instead?
Sure.
That's okay with this court.
Okay. And Ms. Carpio, do you have any questions?
Yes, Judge. So, ma'am, the breast milk is very minimal. You said 2 ounces every 2 hours. So that's not a lot of breast milk. She's on regular solid foods.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So is it possible for you to pump? You have a breast pump.
Yes.
Okay. So it's possible for you to pump more than 2 ounces, put it in the freezer, and then have Mr. Del Villar to put it in his freezer and can be defrosted just the 2 ounces.
I'm not understanding.
It's possible for you to breast pump more than 2 ounces. 2 ounces is that much.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When was the last time you allowed Mr. Del Villar to visit your child?
I could remember it was Easter month. I don't remember exactly the day, just the Easter. Oh, on her birthday.
When was that?
October 22nd?
Okay. Before October 22nd, when was the last time you allowed Mr. Del Villar to visit his child?
Around Easter month. I don't remember.
In April. Easter was April. So between April and October, her birthday, did you allow Mr. Del Villar to visit his child?
No.
Why not?
Because I told him 3 times in the message. I told him once to go see her at a church. He said it was too far, that it was an hour away. And then the second one, he said he wanted me to wait for 5 hours. Mind you, it was the sun, 5 hours at a park to wait for him to come, and he didn't come.
Okay, so you went to the park and he didn't appear. You went to the park with your child to meet up with him for the visitation and he didn't appear.
It's not.
Okay, so how long did you sit there to wait for him?
I was there at 3. He said if I could wait there till 6. And I said, that's not possible. I mean, a child can't be there like all day.
Okay. So could you meet up with him at 6 o'clock instead of sitting there waiting? Could you go home, and then come back at 6 o'clock?
It's because the park that we mentioned was at Pasadena, and I live in Channelview, so I wasn't going to go back to Pasadena.
Okay, so he told you to show up at 3 o'clock and he did not show up.
No, he didn't.
Okay. And so you told him it's 3 o'clock. You said, we're going to meet up at 3 o'clock and you're not here.
Right.
Is that what happened?
Yes, he wasn't there.
Okay. Was there another opportunity for him to visit his child?
I don't recall. I don't remember.
So one time you were supposed to meet up at church, or you wanted him to meet his child at church, but it was too far for him. And then another time it was inconvenient at a park. Apart from those two chances for him to visit his child, were there any times when Mr. Del Villar asked to see his child?
No.
Those were the only two chances that he called or texted asking to see his child.
Yes, because after that he was just blocked. Like I didn't all those messages. I couldn't see them.
You can see the messages that he
Yes,
sent
the
you? He
messages
sent-
that the ones that were pictured here, I didn't see those.
Okay. Because there were a lot of texts to you asking to visit his child that were unanswered. You didn't get all those text messages.
No, I got some of them, but not all of them that he is showing.
Okay. So you got some messages asking for him to see his child.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever called him or texted him asking, hey, do you want to see your child? Have you ever
No.
sent any of that? Why would you not
No, I-
ask him? Have you ever sent him a text or called him and said, hey, do you want to see your child? Do you want to have a relationship with your daughter? Have you ever done that?
We only did it 3 times from the church.
Objection non-responsive.
Then
So you've never done that.
I'm sorry. What?
Sorry, Your Honor, we have a little distraction here with child. Could it answer a question?
Go ahead.
So you've never called Mr. Del Villar and asked him to see his child.
no.
Has he ever offered to bring diapers to you for the child and you refused?
Yes, because it took him for a month to bring those diapers.
So is there an expiration on diapers? Okay. So why would you, I'm sorry, I guess you broke up. Go ahead, ma'am.
The size that he brought wasn't the same size I asked
Okay.
for. When the time that I asked,
Okay.
it already
Did you
changed.
tell him when he offered to bring you diapers and he brought diapers, they were wrong? Did you tell him, could you exchange them for the correct size?
No, I did not tell him that.
Why didn't you tell him that? You don't need the diapers?
No, they're for my daughter.
Right. So you need the diapers for your daughter. Why would you refuse them?
Because since he didn't get visitation, he took forever to bring diapers. It took him a month to bring
Okay.
diapers.
So it could take him 2 months. You don't need diapers now? What is your
Right.
reason for not allowing him to visit and not taking what he could offer for your child? Why would you refuse those? Why do
I'm
we
not-
have to come to court to do this?
Objection, Your Honor. She's being argumentative. She's already answered the questions 3 different times. She said he took a month to bring the diapers. It was the wrong size, and she rejected them.
All right. Sustain. Move on, counsel.
Ms. Negrete, did you come to the Attorney General's office for the services, for child support services?
Have I gone?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you filled out an application for child support services.
I believe it was through phone.
So have you ever filled out an application requesting for child support services?
I don't recall. I remember it was through phone. They told me through the
Okay.
phone that they had
Okay.
a case number.
Right. Did you understand that the Attorney General's office opened this child support case because Mr. Del Villar requested for the AG services, not you?
I'm not sure. I received documents. That's why.
Okay. What type of health insurance do you have in your child?
My child has Medicaid
Okay.
and
And-
my father's insurance. So it's half and half. During
Okay,
the time that
so-
I was pregnant, we got Medicaid.
Okay. So do you have Medicaid on your child right now, or is your dad providing for health insurance for your child?
It's Medicaid.
Okay. Do you know if your dad pays for health insurance for your child?
I'm not sure.
Ask the witness, Judge.
Any other questions of this witness?
I don't have any questions, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. And Ms. Forrest, do you have any other witnesses?
No, ma'am.
Right. And Ms. Fraudy, you don't have any other witnesses. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
How about you, counsel?
None, Judge.
Right. All right. At this time, I'm going to take this under advisement. Let me figure out what we need. I understand you want to give a, is it something I haven't heard?
It's more technical legal, Judge, rather than something you haven't heard. So I just want to make the point where I can do it quickly.
And I'll give a small closing if you would like to. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge Patterson, you've heard the testimony of both clients. I would just like to make it aware to the court that Ms. Negrete has no pleadings on file, no requests that show that there was family violence or a request for supervised visitation. Actually, Ms. Negrete herself did not testify to this fact or testify to what kind of conservatorship she's requesting. So just as a summarization, my client has been alienated from this child, is requesting joint managing conservatorship, has pleadings on file as such, and is asking for a stair-step schedule that would be in the best interest of the child to pay his child support, and is offering Ms. Negrete to have primary custody and restricting the residence. Just wanted to clarify to the court that Ms. Negrete does not have any pleadings on file requesting anything from this court. That's all, Your Honor.
And is there an AOP? Does somebody have an AOP or they do not?
It
They
says
do, Your
that
Honor.
do not. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You do have
No,
an acknowledgement of paternity?
I didn't send anything of AOP.
You didn't sign it. No, she didn't sign it. Sorry.
That's a receipt.
Nothing has been signed. Okay. That's correct, Your Honor.
There is no AOP. Okay. All right. Anything else, folks?
Yes, Judge, if I can just inform the court of my calculation of the child support, since Miss Irani did send me the pay stubs.
Go ahead.
I calculated child support based on his hourly income and the per diem that Mr. Del Villar informed the court. Guideline child support is $679 per month, $79.19 per month. And the state is asking for cash medical support of $50 per month at this time, since she testified that the child is on government health insurance. I'm sure in the final that could potentially change. Maybe Mr. Del Villar could enroll the child in his health insurance, or maybe Miss Negrete could find out from her father if her father is paying for health insurance for the child.
And your calculations included the per diem and a idea about overtime.
Yes, that's correct, Judge. The entire thing. The per diem is actually on the pay stub.
What?
It's on the pay stub, as Mr. Del Villar has informed the court.
All right, great. Okay, thank you very much, folks. I appreciate
Your Honor,
your...
may I add one thing? On the joint MC, we'd like for the mom to have exclusive medical and education, just to avoid any problems in the future.
I'm going to object to that, Judge. There's no pleadings on file requesting anything.
I understand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thanks, folks.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bye.
I'll try and get it to you tomorrow.
Thank you, Your
Thank you.
Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
Have a good day.